school than Claremont McKenna.
That's what I don't understand.
I mean, I've been out there and booted off that campus myself. Not because they didn't like what I said. I mean, physically assault me, but that was put together specifically to promote the conservative movement. Now, you can talk all you want about liberals, but there's a lot of students out there, and I don't.
You're saying those were conservative students shutting down Andrew McDonald?
I would. If that happened to Claremont McKenna, I would see about 1,000 Claremont McKenna students, the conservatives, coming and whooping them up. I don't get it.
Yeah, maybe they're not students.
But you know what? The population has changed.
No.
Also, it was a preemptive strike. I mean, on Facebook, they had planned.
That's why I think that they weren't from there.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
I don't know.
Heather McDonald is relentless in her facts.
Yeah.
Like, impenetrable.
By the way,
and this is the thing that's amazing is Bernie Sanders wants free college.
Mm-hmm.
Like, free tuition for what?
Yeah.
For that insurrection.
I mean, Eric, if you're confident in your beliefs, you should welcome any form of debate. That's the way it used to be.
Yeah. And it probably should be now, but there's another big test coming up.
Yeah.
Ann Coulter
I know.
scheduled to speak at Berkeley.
Oh my
the
God.
same place that Milo got. Remember that?
Can you imagine?
No, but do you remember what happened when Milo tried to speak? In advance of that, there was rioting, and they flipped over some cars.
I'm going to say
And then they said, "Oh, this is terrible reflection on Berkeley." Well, let's see what happens when Ann Coulter.
How much time do I got to get out there? When she's speaking?
They're having, I think the Oath Keepers are going there on Saturday to have a counter demonstration. Could get unusual. The problem,
I'm
I
going to
think.
pray for Ann. I think.
But Kimberly, you know what drives me crazy here is she wrote a book that essentially defends police officers because they aren't getting enough factual. Their people aren't writing enough about the statistics. So she is actually in the minority in terms of writing about this sort of stuff, and yet that's too much for the critics.
Yes, and by the way, if they actually read the book, there's so many really important, salient facts that if you have any experience working with police departments and being a former prosecutor like I do, really makes sense. Guess what she's for? Community policing. This is something that helps, and saying that encouraging that police departments become very familiar with the different neighborhoods, go out and meet with the different communities. How is this inappropriate, fascist, or racist idea? This is talking about being connected to your neighborhoods and understanding them very well and working cooperatively with the people in those communities so they feel that they have a voice, that they're being listened to. These are all very positive things that have shown themselves and proved themselves to be successful across the country when they are implemented.
And also part of the progressive agenda. That's the most amazing thing about it. Community policing has been something that liberals have been looking for a long, long time. So why would protest something you're in favor of? Well, I don't know why.
I don't know, but
Because they're anti-police. I mean, they've evolved to, it's always the cop's fault.
Right.
Well,
It's a segment of it. A small segment of it. A small
I
segment.
don't know if it's that small.
The scary part is if when you're removing the step, which is communication between anger and violence, then it just goes from anger to violence. If that's what you want, sooner or later, that's what you're going to get. Because if you're not talking to somebody and you're attacking them, they will attack back.
She's asking for that. She's saying, hey, let's improve, relations between the police and this community by having the two talk to each other. That's hardly something that's a racist policy.
What does violence bring, though? Attention.
Yeah.
And the cameras and the spotlights, and that's where you're right. They've eliminated that step from ideas to actual action violence, because if the talk in between might talk them out of getting the camera to follow them around while they break stuff.
Greg, the last thing just really quick is what's an important idea too is she's saying that these ideas saying that the police departments are wholesale racist against minorities, it's actually making minorities communities less safe by creating and propagating this false narrative forward. It's not helping make those communities safe.
All right. Ahead. Our Attorney General went to the border today and announced new plans by the administration to deal with illegal immigration. That is next.
Immigrants on notice.
For those that continue to seek improper and illegal entry into this country, be forewarned. This is a new era. This is the Trump era. The lawlessness, the abdication of duty to enforce our laws, and the catch and release policies of the past are over.
Jeff Sessions also announced the administration is taking a more aggressive approach to prosecuting those already here illegally.
We will execute a strategy that once again secures our border, apprehends and prosecuted those criminal aliens that threaten public safety. We are going to interdict your drugs, on the way into this country, your money on the way out, and investigate and prosecute your trafficking networks to the fullest extent of the law.
And there's been an unprecedented drop in illegal border crossings since President Trump took office. 72% fewer crossings last month than President Obama's final month in office. And that's because this president keeps his word when he says he's going to enforce the law and KG build a big, beautiful wall.
It's gonna get 10 feet tall by tomorrow. So this was very strong messaging, obviously, from Sessions, and this is very consistent with what candidate Trump promised to the American people in terms of making us a nation of borders, enforcing the laws that are on the books already. So this is, again, clear messaging to tell people there are consequences, that illegal immigration and drug trafficking and bringing that type of stuff into our country is going to be prosecuted. And they're also, I like the financial aspect of it, saying that they will seize the funds. So there'll be monetary impact as well. As a former prosecutor, I am all for the laws that are on the books being upheld and being enforced. And it's about time. And you see that it's already had a deterrent effect, which I think is also very important.
And pick up on that, the 72% drop in border crossings, you're not going to at least credit some of the tough talk on illegal immigration?
Yeah, I'll give it a little bit of credit. Let's remember last year there were a lot more people who fled this country back home to Mexico than came here under Barack Obama, number one. Number two, that's because the economy had gotten better. That's not Beckel Institute, that's a fact. There were more people who left this country who were illegal than came into this country. Now, you may not want to believe that.
He had a record number of deportations Barack Obama did in his final year. A record number.
Yeah, that's right. And that's a good thing, too. But that the other people who voluntarily went back, there were more people who voluntarily went back than came here illegally. And by the way, your fence, that big
beautiful fence, the big door.
The Congress of the United States just put him on notice. He's not going to get any money in this new bill that's moving through to keep the government open. He wanted $10 billion. He's not going to get it. You're not going to get it from the Mexicans, and you're not going to get it from anybody else along the border. So once again, a lot of tough talk, no wall.
Dana, what do you think you can credit a 72% drop in border crossings or deportations or not?
Well, remember that when there was a concern, remember when President Obama said they were going to get tougher, and then you had all those people sending their kids there, and we had that promise about 3 years ago because people thought, well, this might be my last chance in order to be able to get to the United States. So I think what has happened that not only President Trump, but also former President Obama, there has been a push towards making sure people don't even try to come here. But now I think that what you're starting to see, you might start to see some pressure. Now that you have the delineation about the criminals here illegally that are on notice, drugs, Jeff Sessions is going to be all over you. Like that's that. I think you'll start to see some employers start to ask the administration to think about a temporary worker program because they're going to need people to help get their products to market.
Because the DEA has not been after the drug traffickers all along, and so that's a false argument on.
When Bob, you said tough talk, no wall. Tough talk is the wall. Somehow perception has done like 90% of the perspiration.
Yes.
I'm looking at the numbers,
I heard
Bob.
it on the Greg Gutfeld
Yes,
show.
you don't need to build a wall. Trump might be the wall. Look at it. It's not like you need to build a new bar. We just got a new bartender. For the longest time, bartenders keep
Free drinks.
The free drinks, and everybody's coming in. Then all of a sudden they fire that bartender. They bring in a new bartender with skin in the game, and suddenly people start going, you know what? I can't get a free drink there. I'm going to go somewhere else. So it's not a new bar. It's a new bartender.
Hey, look, we'll find out by the end of this year. There's statistics. Statistics are something Trump has never been introduced to, but when the fact of the matter is, we'll see how many people get arrested under Trump.
So far, this is kind of an amazing statistic. A 70% drop when it was supposed to increase. I mean, that's called the stat, Bob.
And I'll throw another stat at you, Bob. You know how much a $20 billion wall will save in taxpayer money that they're not turning over to these 72% of the people who decided not to come over in the form of health care, welfare, food stamps, assistance, education. Hundreds of billions of dollars. It's a great investment.
Hundreds of billions of dollars.
One other thing was really important.
Is that from the big, beautiful wall that comes from? Hundreds of billions.
You know, if they come over here, you got to give them if they want to go to Dana, if they come over department, you gotta let them go in a
I
public school.
understand that.
If they get hurt, they gotta be treated in an emergency room.
Yeah.
In fact, their families can get food stamps and assistance on housing across the board. That's hundreds of billions of dollars
Identification
of wealth.
card,
And how about the people, of the 11 million over here, how many do you think work? And how many do you think pay taxes?
The heck has that got to do with it?
A lot. They pay a lot in taxes. They pay a lot when they buy food. They pay taxes on that for
We
gasoline.
also send a lot of money home. That's all well documented. Just really quick, Sessions also said they're going to crack down anybody who commits assaultive conduct or acts of violence against Border Patrol agents. So there's a lot of problems with the Border Patrol and the officers feeling that they were being punished by the last administration if they were enforcing the law. So now he's saying, do your job, and we are going to have your back. And there'll be penalties if you try and assault an officer.
Ahead, leave it right there. Ahead. United Airlines finally apologizes to the past.
We're United Airlines. You do what we say, when we say, and there won't be a problem. Capiche? If we say you fly, you fly. If not, tough. Give us a problem, and we'll drag your off the plane. And if you resist, we'll beat you so badly you'll be using your own face as a flotation device. United Airlines. You.
Oh my gosh, she's
That's
a
very
drunk,
good.
huh?
A little news came in this afternoon that the doctor who was pulled off the plane is now being treated in the Chicago hospital for injuries sustained from being pulled down the aisle. Does that make any difference to you, Eric?
Of course he is. He's going to continue to play this up on his. And I hate the. This is what happens.
We might also not be injured.
Maybe he really got hurt.
Okay, maybe he did, or maybe he's going to play it up because he's on every TV station on every channel across the globe.
What was that?
When all United really had to do is go to the free market
Right.
and just pay him to pay somebody. They probably would have gotten to like $1,500, and there'd be 10 people fighting for the $1,500.
But 3 people went off. He was the only one that didn't. I mean,
Get
it's so
this- listen to
stupid
this.
the way he handled this.
It's about 4 hours. It's a little more than a 4-hour drive.
Yeah, they could have got